Hello and welcome back to the 21-22 school year. Gosh, it's good to see you all in the building. I'm Ms. Dow, for those of you who are new to Lakewood, and I'm here to present our first project. So in thinking about how to bring us all back together in the art room, after everything we've been going through with COVID, I thought it would be really cool to do a community art project. So what I mean by that is we all do a piece and then they all go together to make one big art project. So what we're going to do is each create a window or a piece to go to a stained glass window. So if you've ever seen a stained glass window, it's that colored glass with the little pieces that come together, usually forms a picture or a pattern. I will show you examples of stained glass over the next few days in our unit, in our visual thinking strategies. And one of the artists that I'm going to show you is Kehinde Wiley. One of my favorite artists. He's an African-American artist doing some really great things. I shared some of his work with you last year. And I really liked something he said. And I think it really brings great meaning to what I'm thinking, what I'd like to happen. Because we're going to put these up in the breezeway, which is where you go in and out for recess. So it's a place you'll see all the time. There's a lot of sunlight. And if you've ever been in a church, when the sun's coming through all that beautiful stained glass, there's this glow in the air. It's kind of hard to describe. It's just kind of peaceful. It's beautiful. Anyways, this is what he says. He said about his own work. He said, it's not about nationhood. It's about race. It's about being powerful in the world, glowing literally, letting us see a state of grace for those people who rarely get to be able to be seen that way. Okay, I just think that's beautiful, and a state of grace. And we've been talking about that a lot, is giving grace. Grace is just a beautiful thing. And we all deserve grace. Okay. We all need grace, let's put it that way, okay? I don't know if anybody deserves it, but that's just a personal belief. We all make mistakes, so we all need grace. Okay, so we're gonna use this project in the art room. That's the meaning behind it. But let's look real quick at some of the things that we're going to be covering as far as art concepts, okay? So these are our elements of art and our principles of design. And we are going to specifically be thinking about color. We're going to be reviewing color. And we're also going to be looking at space. We're going to be talking about overlapping. Okay, we're going to be looking at that. And that's a review for most of you. However, that will be new to some of you. Okay. So there's that. And then, sorry, I have to flip this screen a little bit. Let me share this one. So here's our color wheel. So let's just review a little bit about our colors. Let me get my annotate tool here. And so remember this first triangle, the one is for primary color. So we have red, yellow, and blue. All right, so all the other colors are made from combining red, yellow, and blue. But remember, if you have red, yellow, and blue all mixed together at the same time, you get that mucky color, right? And so we combine two of them at a time, we will get our secondary colors, which are on the other triangle with the two lines. So for example, red and yellow make orange, and red and blue make purple. Blue and yellow make blue-green or green, right? And then you can further mix the colors by adding your tertiary colors. So for my older kids, you'll need to know those. We've talked about those. When you start mixing them and making them, you'll get colors like yellow-green, red-violet. That's the blue-green, and yellow-orange, okay? So kindergarten or first grade, you probably don't need to remember that, but you might remember it. But everybody should remember how those colors are mixed. The primary colors first, red, yellow, blue, and those are mixed to make the secondary colors. Okay. All right. So, oh, and then also think about your cool colors and your warm colors. So if you remember, here's red. We divide this like this. Okay. So over here are warm. Whoops. My computer's doing something funny right now. It's not letting me do some things. I just won't write, I guess. These are our warm colors. Now this one, honestly, I would probably throw that one in with the green because in this particular case, it does look a little bit more green. But if it looks a little bit more yellow, like I have a yellow green here, I'm going to show you, it's like a lime green. It would definitely go with the warmer colors because it's a little bit more yellow. All right, and then the green all the way up to red violet are the cool colors. Okay, and this is cool color because it's a little bit more violet. So those are the two tricky ones, if you remember. Okay, so this one and this one, red violet and yellow green, are tricky because it depends on how much of the color is in there, if it should be a warm color or a cool color. So if you're not sure, you can ask me and we'll talk about it and look at it together. All right. Whoops. All right, let me stop sharing that. All right, I think we're ready to start. So let me share my document camera. There we go. All right, so we're ready to begin. So I will have given you all your materials, so you don't have to worry about that. I even pre-cut most of our tissue paper. Now, this is the tissue paper I have at home. You have, we have more colors at school. I've already gone through and sorted mine. Yours will not be sorted. So the first thing we're going to have to do is you're going to have to decide which colors you want. So what I'd like for you to do is only pick about 3 colors. So maybe you pick red and yellow, right? And then orange, because it makes orange. So if I take red and yellow, right? And if I were to mix them, they make orange. There's somewhere where you can see it. Or maybe you want to pick colors like these colors right here, around here, the blues and the purples, because those are cool colors. Okay. The idea is I want you to choose your colors with purpose. So at the end of this assignment, I'm going to ask you to tell me why you chose those colors. What color family are they, or how do they mix together? And another reason why you want to make sure that you know what colors you're choosing is because remember that glow that we were talking about? Okay. When you put it up to the sunlight, you're going to see the colors and how they overlap. And some of them, here's one of my examples that's already done. Okay. When you put the colors, they're going to overlap each other and they're going to create a new color. So I've got purple here and pink overlapping it. So you can see the pink here and the purple here, but the color I have here is going to be like a new purple. All right. And the same thing is going to happen between the pink here and the orange. And then here with the yellow and orange, you get this lighter orange. A little hard to see right now, but when I hold it up to the light, you can see how it goes. And I have a picture of that actually as well that you'll be able to see in Canvas. Okay. So you need to think about your colors. Remember, you don't want all 3 of the primary colors together or you'll get that mucky color when you mix them together. So for example, if I put red and green together, can I do that? No, because what 2 colors are in red? What 2 colors are in red? You have, no, I'm sorry, I'm backwards. There's red. And then green, what 2 colors are in green? Oh, Miss Dallas, late day. Today's Today was the second day of school. It is now like 6:44. It's 6:45 that night and my brain's a little tired, so forgive me. So we have green here, and what two colors make green? We have yellow and blue, right? Make green. So if I mix green with red, oh, that's a bright color. Can you see that? All right, well, hopefully you can see that. Sometimes on my screen it's brighter. Anyways, when you see that, what do we have? We have all three primary colors together, okay? So you can't mix those colors together. All right, so the first thing you're gonna do is I'll be giving you this plastic piece of transparency, okay? These were actually donated by Ms. Fuentes. She had these in the room, they're old transparency, so thank her for donating those. All right, and then the next thing you're gonna do is pick your colors, like we said, and you have to separate the pieces before you touch the glue. All right, when I cut them, they're kind of chunked together, and you can see as I pull them apart, they're a little bit lighter. They're very thin. Okay, so if it looks darker, there's probably a couple together, and it's really hard to pull those apart once you have a little bit of glue on your fingers. So you're going to pull those apart and have yourself a little pile. Like you can kind of see, I have a little pile there, a little pile of purple, and a little pile of this blue. Now on this one, I wanted it to be, you'll see in a minute, I'm going to make a cover that goes over it, like a frame. And I want it to be like I'm looking at a sunset. So, so I got the purple and the pink, the orange and the yellow, like it's a sunset. Okay. This one I thought I would just do cool colors. So I have my glue. I made myself a little glue sponge thing for home. Yours at school will be a little bit bigger than that. And so what's going to happen is I'll start with purple. I'm just going to do a little row across the top because it takes a few minutes and I don't want to take that long on this video. So ready? We're going to put it in like this. Only one finger should really get glue on it. Okay, if you do this the way I'm showing you, you're going to lay the piece on top. Okay, and I'm just going to dab it with one finger so the whole thing is laying flat in the glue. Capiche? All right, and then I'm going to grab it carefully, and then I'm going to lay it down on the plastic piece. There we go. That's it. Now I'm going to add another one. I don't have any glue except a little bit of glue on my finger right here. So again, lay it down. Don't have to soak it. You can see there's nothing dripping on it. There's just a little bit of glue there. Now I have to overlap. Remember I said we were going to talk a little bit about space. I don't want to put it next. There should be no space between the two. I don't want to put it like this. I'll do it just for now. So there I put it next to it. But you see how the space is between them? That is what you do not want. Okay, now if you do that by accident, let's say you put it down and you didn't mean to, don't try to move it because it's going to rip. All right, get another one. Maybe I want to mix colors. Maybe I'll take the blue now. Lay it in the glue, dab it, pull it out, and I'm going to overlap it. I'm going to put it across those two. Okay, now it's okay if it flips a little bit. Okay, it's going to make some texture. You can see on my other one here, like it even ripped a little bit here, but you really can't tell because I just kind of patted it down and it creates a texture, which is really nice. So texture is another one of our art words. Okay, so we got color here. We've got some spatial stuff going on because we're overlapping and we might be creating some texture. All right, so that's it. You're going to cover this whole thing. I'll do one more. I'll just do another blue. I'll do a couple more. All right, real quick. You just gonna keep going, overlap. All right, and then maybe even I'll do a lighter one so you can see what that looks like. Dab it a little bit. Whoops. That one. So I'm just gonna keep overlapping, and I'm gonna keep going until I've covered the whole thing. Bish. All right. So you're gonna do that, fill the whole thing. You probably won't get to finish it in one class. It'll probably take you 2 classes to do that part. And then, move these over. The next part is to make the part that looks like a window. All right, so voila, I finished. Right now, I practiced a little bit with some scrap paper, and I'm going to let you do the same thing. You practice on some copy paper first. You're going to fold your paper in half 2 times. All right, so let's take this. I'm going to give you black paper for your final one, but I'll give you some copy paper to practice with. But this is what you're going to do. You're going to fold it in half, line up those corners, be as accurate as you can. Take your time. Kindergartners, first graders, I know you haven't done this a lot, but we did practice doing some folding last year. So just take your time and I'll come around and help you, but take your time, try, okay? It's super important that we try. And some of you older kids, sometimes you rush. I forgot one thing. Do you see all these little pieces of specks here of white? That's glue. If you get glue on your fingers and it starts getting sticky, do you see it coming off my fingers? When you rub your fingers like this, all the glue will come off your fingers. And voila, you're ready to do some more, okay? All right, sorry, forgot that. All right, and then you're gonna turn your paper, fold it again. All right, now some of you know how to make snowflakes. This is kind of like that, all right? So this one right here, this was a, see how this pattern I created here? This I folded in half, folded it over like this, okay? And then actually this one, I'll show you that one in a minute. I folded it a little bit and cut out that shape. That'll be for the older kids. My younger kids, kindergartners, first graders, I folded it in half and then I folded it one more time, okay? So I folded it one more time. I can't do it, this paper's too thick. And then I cut out a rectangle. I have one already folded here. Okay, let me see if I can do it with this one. Fold it one more time. This paper. I'm using paper at my house because that's all I have. All right, you cut 2 lines like that. Then you cut across. Now you have to cut where that fold was. Okay, you see how these are the edges that were open? Don't cut from that side. You see how I cut the folded side? Okay, now by doing that, my paper will stay together. If I don't do that, it's all going to fall to pieces. So make sure you cut your lines 1, 2 from the fold and then cut across. And when you open it up, you have a window and you will glue it down on top of your tissue paper, okay? And so for that part, you'll just have, we'll use the bottle glue. I'll have the bottle glue out for you and you'll just glue on this part and you'll turn it over and you'll glue it to the top like that. And then you have your stained glass window. Isn't that pretty? All right. Now, my older kids, let's say you want to do a pattern that's a little bit more complex like this. There's your fold, right? My fold is here and here. So make sure you leave part of that attached. And well, I folded it. It's just like doing snowflakes, which I know I've taught you before. But let's just say I want to do that shape again. All right, I'll show you how I did that. You fold this like this and whatever shape you want. All right, I went over like this. But you can do anything you want. Be careful, don't cut towards your hand. I cut, yeah. And then I cut straight up here this way. It's paper. It's a memory book paper, so it's a little bit thicker. All right, so there's that shape. And then I know there's this gap right here, so I'm gonna put something else here. I'm gonna match this curve I did right there. All right, and there we go. Oh, didn't quite do it. All right, there we go. Okay, there's that. And then to do that up there, I folded this over a little bit and I made a little curve. I'm not cutting that folded edge. You can cut out little pieces from that edge, but not the whole edge. I'll show you what I mean. So let's say, for example, I want to cut a little something. This is that folded edge. I want to cut a little shape right here. You can't cut that whole side off, but you can cut little chunks out. So let's just say I want to do a heart. I can do half of a heart. Like that. Okay. Now let's see what it looks like when I open it up. Ah, voila. There we go. All right. And I can get my colored pieces. Turn it sideways. And so again, we'll put glue on with the glue bottles and glue it down and get your stained glass window. Isn't that beautiful? All right, I think you can enjoy this. All right. Let's see, I will stop sharing. All right, so now I will shut off the video and you'll be able to ask me questions because we're there in person. I hope you enjoy it. Adios.